All right, what's up, good people? I am setting up a new apartment. I'm in a new apartment, and I have no furniture but a hammock and a TV, and there's no internet. But that's all right. I know how to live content till I get my stuff. So I'm gonna get my stuff. But as long as I got somewhere to sleep, I'm good. But anyway, that's not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about. Oh, that light. All right. So what I want to talk about was what happens after you die, part two. So what happens after you die, part two. So as I want to reiterate, I had an experience with 5-MeO DMT, uh, Bufo, the toad, and I had a psychedelic trip, and I seen the cosmos. I met God and all this stuff. I talk about it in my podcast. So check out the Black Hippie Jesus podcast on Spotify and Anchor if you have not heard the testimony. So that all happened. Now I have a new perspective on reality. I seen everything that exists beyond the plane of this realm through my trip, and I just can't stop talking about it. And it has me very energetic. It has me very excited about reality or about life, but it's also very difficult, and there's a dark side to it as well, which I will talk about later. But everything's good. I'm still always happy. So I seen in the spirit realm, and I want to talk about what goes on because it's very complicated, very, very, very complicated out there. So I want to talk about. Last time I talked about things are kind of like movie Ghosts, right? When you die, you have some options based on where you want to go afterwards. Interestingly enough, it's like when I had my experience. I felt like I had a choice to either go back and not go into the light or go into the light, because what happened when I took the Bufo experience, I actually died. It was like a near-death experience. So it was like I could go into the light or not. And I chose to go into the light because I got over that fear at first, and I jumped into the light, and that was the most orgasmic experience. Like I said, I talk more about that on my podcast. But it was a very orgasmic experience. And when I went to the light, it took me apart, and I felt so much love, and I felt so much warmth, and it fixed me. And it's like the process. Okay, so when you die, and this is what I want to talk about today. What happens after you die? Going into the light. Okay, so the purpose of going into the light. So many people talk about, even other people who have near-death experiences, they talk about going into the light, right? So what that light is actually the creator. It's the source, right? It's the source of all existence. So, that is what they talk about. That big, bright, white light is the source of all existence. It is the creator. Is what we call God. It is what it is. What it is. It has no name. It doesn't have a face. It's a pure ball of energy, right? And we all are from that ball of energy. So I went into it and went into nothingness. I had no more body. It was like I was nothing other than I was still conscious. And and being one with the creator expanded my consciousness. Like I have God consciousness, and I think just like the creator. And it sent me back and into the into the earth. So that's what happens. So when you die, here's the thing. I'm gonna explain this to you. Follow me. When you die, right, you can choose. If you're pure in heart, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God, right? So when you die, you can actually choose to go into the light or not, right? The pure in heart, because I did all my shadow work, and I fixed like a lot of the things in my heart that would have prevented me from going into the light. I basically, like I said in church, repented, stuff like that. I changed my ways and my habits, and I got right, and I got my soul right. I had some, a few, little irritation things that here and there that I did or whatever, but on the most part, I was purifying myself through, what I knew to do, just shadow work and just really digging into the deep parts of me. Um, so because I was already like purified, I went right into the light. I was like, just take me, God. Like, just take me. I had no darkness. I had nothing holding me back, right? There was no stuff in me. That's why I know if I were to die again, I know where I'm going. I just know I'm going to go right back into that light. I'm going to get fixed and it's going to send me right back. So that's what it is. So when you go into the light, you actually get even more fixed, right? It actually does something to you where it shows you who you really are. Like it fixes you and then it shows you who you really are. So it talks to you through yourself. It like, hey, it like becomes you. You become it. You're one consciousness. It's like you're conscious and you're also aware that there's another consciousness there and you're talking, communicating, and you have no body. You're just up there communicating with this large consciousness and you're learning from it. So it shows you everything about you, like your past lives and everything, all the stuff you did, and the amazing journey that you've been on, and all this stuff, your families that you had. It's like I saw a lot of like stuff from my past life. I know exactly the people who I was. I was prominent in some lives, and some lives I was just a regular guy helping people in the community. Either way, I was out there doing the same thing, right? I was helping people. I was out pastor or some kind of missionary, politician, any type of service related thing. I was, military, a lot of religion. So I see my past lives and I feel like, that's crazy. That's me, right? So it shows you all those lives and everything. And it says, okay, it shows you what you have to do next to finish your mission. And then it sends you back in there. So that is one aspect I want to talk about. Now, let me just mention, here's the dark side. Now, if you didn't fix your issues, the darkness, you're going to run away. You're going to run away from the light because that darkness is keeping you from going to meet the Creator because you haven't purified your heart. So this is where we get this whole idea of the dark shadows in the movie Ghost, right? When some people died, they went backwards. Right? They went to some black things. That didn't happen. I didn't see that. But what I did understand from the Creator was that people that are afraid of the light, so they're going to go into another worlds. This is where it gets really, really complicated. I'm going to go into part 3 talking about that. So I just want to talk about what it does to you. So don't be afraid of the light. You got to be pure in heart, though, to where you want to go into that light. But, you have to really, you're going to have to go into light eventually. Every being has to go back into the Creator. Even if you have gone down the left-hand path in life, you eventually got to deal with that darkness. And you got to go get fixed. You got it cleaned out. You got to get purified. And then you go back and you help the world. All right. So stay tuned for part 3, what happens when you die. Peace out, y'all.